Good morning. It's Thursday, August 12th, day two of World Quilt Online. Uh, it's going to be very, very hot today. Matter of fact, most of this country is pretty much in the heat tank. So we're trying to stay cool, even though we're heating things up a little bit with some of our interviews and what have you. So this morning, before we go on to what's happening today, this morning I'm here with longtime vendor business, Seems Like Home, and they've been doing our shows for many years, and they started at Fort Washington, the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza in Fort Washington many years ago, and so I'm here this morning with Joan Jones, the owner of Seems Like Home. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
How are you?
David. I'm very well. Glad to be here.
Great, thank you. Thanks for joining us. So where are you right now? Where are you broadcasting from?
I'm in my office right now. I have an office and I have a loft in my home. It's a home-based business, and I have a loft where I work out of, and I have several rooms where I have been able to store fabric. So I really kind of had the whole upstairs of my house. So I've been well established here for many years.
All right. So what town, what state?
Waretown, New Jersey. I've located several places. I used to be in Clinton. I used to have a store in Clinton. That's when I first started with you way back in the day.
I remember that.
We moved to Williamsburg, and actually I found that town doing your Williamsburg show down there, which has turned to Hampton now, but I fell in love with that area, moved there for several years, and now I'm back in Waretown, New Jersey again, very close to my kids and grandchildren.
That's nice. I know Waretown, New Jersey. I know Ocean County, New Jersey. Have many memories of being down in Tom's River and at the beaches when we were children. So I've always, my heart has always been in Ocean County, New Jersey, the best beaches around. So that's that's always a lot. That's a great place to be located. So how long have you been in business?
I've been in business for 42 years, and I have all the things that I show in my booth, which is a double booth, in Oaks. I'm still saying Fort Washington. In Oaks, it's a double booth, and I'm on a corner, 404, I believe. And, it's the things that I show are all my own designs. I like to draw, and that's how I come up with my quilt designs. I used to do dolls years and years ago, or antique Santas, but now I've moved right into the quilt industry. I will have about 40 quilts there and all the patterns that go with them. Wow. And I can show you some of those here today if you would like.
Now, before we take a look at that, at those things, you had a store once, didn't you? A brick and mortar store?
I did have a brick and mortar store for about, I guess almost 12 years in Clinton, New Jersey.
Okay.
When my husband retired, I sold that, and that's when we moved down to Williamsburg, Virginia, and then moved back once the grandchildren came along.
Right. And obviously things have changed in what you offer over the years as things evolve.
Oh, absolutely. It's evolved. It's evolved. Yeah. Right. As I see what comes in, there's fashion in the quilting industry, just like everything else. And fabrics change and techniques change. I use the fusible applique, which is the easiest. I can get most detail in my work with the least amount of effort.
Very nice.
Make it as easy as possible.
Of course, we know we're all venturing back out to the shows. We're tiptoeing back out to doing live shows, and so tell us a little bit about what you're going to be bringing to the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza coming up mid-September.
Okay. Well, first of all, tiptoeing back, all of my neighbors here, I live in a very large community, and there's a lot of quilters here. They're really biting at the bit to get back out there. We are doing all the safety precautions. We have a sneeze screen, touch-free processing, and all of that sort of thing. Hand sanitizers, to make everybody as comfortable as possible. We are just so eager to get back out there. This has been 14, 15 months of misery. Okay, I'm going to start out by showing you, actually my work is in four different areas: portrait quilts, landscape quilts, a lot of holiday, and a lot of nature quilts. So the portrait quilts are really the most unique, and I'm going to show you. Actually, this is my most popular quilt, which is really strange. It's a witch. I don't know if you can, how much of this you can see there.
Quite a lot.
Okay, you get the general idea?
Yes.
And I'm going to show you what I have for that. I draw the faces for those. And so you can buy the face to go along with it, because some people are intimidated. But the pattern itself, and this has, and excuse the shininess here if you can't see it, but it has a full page picture and a close-up of the face. So if you should decide to do it yourself, you can. It has full-size pieces, and it has a full-size layout and basic instructions. I also have a website, and I have videos of how to do these faces on the website. The videos are free, and I also have how to do the fusible applique. So this is the one. The next one that I have is a mermaid. And I don't know how much of this you can see. I'll show you the face. I guess you can see the face. And then the bottom, the tail, and all of that. This, and here is her face. Okay. And here is her pattern. Again, two pictures. The close-up of the face itself, so that if you're doing it yourself, you can see how the shading and all of that is. And again, full size. Now, I won't show you these quilts, but I'll show you some other projects I have. Here's a Santa Claus, very, very popular one. Okay. And here is his face. He has no mouth. He has a mustache that covers it. The quilter, there's her face, and there's her pattern. And again, there's a close-up of the face. This face was inspired by Betty White. The hairdo is Betty White.
All right. I think you have some really fun things here.
I figured that was a very friendly, familiar face. This is the Woodland Fairy. And there are her pattern. There's a pattern. There's the whole quilt, and there is her face. I have a geisha. I didn't pull her face, but I do have a geisha. And this one is one I absolutely love, because this is a nativity scene. And this showed up someplace on the internet, and the sales started booming when everybody saw that you can actually make these. And there's the close-up. And here are all of the faces that you need for that project, all done for you. Okay. I have some smaller ones. This is a witch and a scarecrow. Again, I apologize for the shininess. I don't know how to locate it. There it is. And I have the faces that go along with that as well. I draw all of these myself. And I also sell the fabric for it, so that, and I have 3 dolls. 1, 2, 3 different dolls. And I have all the faces that go with them. And I sell the fabrics for the body that goes with that. There they are. Okay, so these faces keep me busy. I love doing it. I never imagined that I would do thousands and thousands of faces like this. I thought for sure everybody would just eat this up and want to do it themselves, but they kind of favor, let me just do it for them. Okay, the second item I do with the landscaping quilt, you can see it behind me. This is planting the field. Okay, and I have several patterns that go along with that type of thing. The first one, of course, is that pattern itself. And that is, you can see the full scene up here. There are block backgrounds here. Okay. I'm not a real lover of pieced quilts. I would do, like I said, I work from my drawings, but I wanted to put in some piecing for people. So there is the piecing in the back. That's the hole in the barn door, or sometimes it's called a churn dash. And on the bottom, you can see the close-up. I love landscape design. This one is a winter one, bringing home the tree. And again, there's snowball blocks in the background. There are 7 across and 5 down, and I shade them so that they become part of the landscape. And here is a close-up. These close-ups are the more interesting or more intriguing area of the quilt that I think people might need assistance. Tropical sunset. You can see the whole quilt there and the scene. And these are they're palm leaves in the background of the quilt. This one is autumn field, and you can see this, there are bear claws, but that looked to me like maple leaves, and a close-up. All of this corn is quilted, and there are all instructions in there for that. Signs of spring, baskets in the background, and a close-up of the bunny. And the final thing that I have is this ship, the Susan Constant, that came over when Jamestown was settled. And there's the ship. And there's a close-up of the markings on the ship and the wave. Okay.
That's a throwback to when you were in Williamsburg.
Yes, it was. In fact, on Jamestown Island, I actually, when I did this, they actually carried it in their gift shop for quite some time during the anniversary celebration. And they took the staff at Jamestown, went over to a specific spot where they could photograph this for me. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, now the landscape designs that I have that don't have block backgrounds are in a whole different category. This is Winter Wonderland. And I hope that you can see.
We sure can. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this goes back to my ice skating days when I thought I was going to be at, gosh, you want to know how long ago? What was it? Was it Sony Henny? Was she a swimmer? I don't know. Whoever it was, I thought I was going to be a championship skater. I would run home from school and get on a pond, and that's kind of why I kind of enjoyed doing this one. And for this one, I have, of course, the pattern. There's a close-up down here of and the horse-drawn carriage and the church up on the hill. And for many of them, I have the fabric that goes along with this. I just pulled this one. This was convenient. So these are all the fabrics that go along with that. I call this a fabric pack because I don't put everything in a kit. If I put it in a kit, people want, oh, can you take this part out or whatever? So this way they pick and choose what they want. Okay, that's that part. This one is called High Tides Great Rides. This is going to be familiar for you, David. There is the beach scene, and the one on the bottom is there's a whale there, and that's the sky that goes up. Now this is a big one, so I'll show you this one in pieces. I have it folded. There is your airplane inviting you to whatever happy hour, going over the top of the sea. And these are the rides that are up on the top. Okay. And then as I unfold this, you'll see the bottom of it, which is the there's a whale in the water, and there's your beach scene and beach umbrellas. So that's the whole quilt there.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that makes me want to go to the beach now today.
Yeah,
Instead I have to work.
I use some crystals to give it a little bling. I had a lot of fun doing this. And my intention was to eventually do certain areas bigger, but oh well, I go on to the next project and forget it. Okay, the holidays. I love to do the holidays. This is my turkey. And not all my projects have lots of little pieces, okay? Some of them have bigger pieces like this one. This is an easier project. Okay, this is my turkey. Okay, he's been pretty popular. And here is his pattern. Okay. And I'll show you some of the other holiday. I'll just show you the patterns. I have a deer. And I had a customer come in my booth and examine these deer because she raised deer. These are really caribou, I guess, basically. And she wanted to know if they had a shovel on the front so that they could shovel the snow. And she says, "You got it correct." So this is the correct version of a caribou deer, which was totally a mistake. This is Frosty and Friends. And there it is. And there's a deer and cardinal and a little squirrel sitting up on his shovel. This one is called Lily. It's a little rabbit that's all gussied up. And it's Lily because this block corner, which is right here in large, is a Carolina lily. So that's why I named her Lily. That's the spring one. And this is Harvest Scarecrow. You can see the large version and a close-up of his face. His face is not drawn, it's actually appliqued. All right. Then the spring and nature. This one is butterflies and blossoms. And I'll show you, again, I'm going to have to break this down. Various butterflies. This one on the top is a monarch. This one down here is, I forget.
Beautiful.
I would have to look that, a queen. I think it's a queen. This one is I forget that one too. Painted something, painted lady, this one on the left. These I have in my yard. So these are all.
Now, did you actually hand draw those also?
I hand draw all of these. I start with paper.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. And here again is, I can't remember what, here it is. Tiger, Eastern tiger swallowtail. That's the close-up one. That's the one I like the most. Okay. And these are just layered over the top. Okay. And there is the butterflies. I have the same quilt in birds as well. Okay, I did a whole series so that if you wanted to connect these, you could. If you wanted to make a bigger bed quilt, you could. So you would have butterflies, you would have birds through the season, and I also did fruits and vegetables too. So that's that one. This one is a real easy one. I have a series of these as well. This is, and it's a smaller pattern. These I did for beginners. This is called Sunflower Song. And there are birds and flowers together. This is the goldfinch. And you don't see too many birds flying in quilts. So I like to put a little, I like to get a little action on that.
I think anyone that's going to be coming into your booth in Pennsylvania, I would think would have a lot of fun. So you do have a lot of fun stuff.
I have a lot of sightseers stand on the outside, and I'm very excited when I see them go like this.
Yeah, you do.
I said, then I smile because I've at least amused them to a certain point.
Well, I've never realized that. I never realized you had such a comprehensive inventory. So I think everyone's going to be looking forward to seeing you and Richie at the show coming up in September. We thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, stick with us a moment. I'll tell you what we have coming up today. We have Diana coming up with an interview with Guyleen Fitzgerald, and that's at 11 o'clock coming right up. And then Brandon will be back with Maria Tamako with Pinwheels. So that's always a fun thing. Diana will be back again with Anna Bozzolino, another quilter, and then later this afternoon, I'm going to be with Joan Randell of Bucklebee Bags. She's quite a fun character. And then from there, I'm going to do my late night, my 1 minute of fame late night show with Claire Victor. We're going to talk about modern quilting. So again, thank you for joining us, and we're looking forward to having a great week this week, as hot as it is, and seeing everybody in person in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Thank you.
There.